So this is the recap show.
This is the recap show. We're winding down. It's been a lot. We crammed a lot in a short period of time.
It's true.
And we're just about ready to see, exhibits being torn down and final talks being presented. It came quickly. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun, and it was intense. It was a lot of learning. It was a lot to see, a lot of folks to meet. It was a lot of social time. It was great to meet people and see people. I'd meet people I'd never met before in person, and it was good.
Nice little recap there. That's true. That's true. And the more I talk to folks, and this is our third day of kind of podcasting, and the first day, it's kind of like first day of school, there's so many, there's just kind of new areas you haven't even been, you haven't even seen everybody at the event maybe at that point. But the opening night icebreaker was legit, right? Halliburton's kind of opening night, everyone get through registration and let's go let our hair down, see as many as we can. That opening night was nice. I like the way that event was put together.
I'm sure they had fun with their product rollout, that they got to do the show and whatnot, but being able to get out there and chat with folks away from, the technical portion of the event was nice. It was warm, it was refreshing, it was relaxing, it was fun. Yeah.
Yep. I think, I always think, what could be better, what could be done differently, and you could pick apart everything down to the detail if you really wanted to. But the overall thing that I got from this event, I think that I feel like most should start adopting, and I think the image event and ERTEC, those are such big events that maybe you just...
They are.
Right?
They are big, yeah.
Because what I thought was super effective for me and going to these get-togethers after the event is all day we're together. All day we're doing our podcast thing, but we're going from booth to booth, the poster sessions, the technical talks. Everyone's in the building. And then at lunch, it's all provided. It's not go figure out lunch on your own like an ERTEC or an image. It feels like there's a lot more disbursement and kind of dilution of the crowd at those really bigger events, where this one always felt like it was a tight group, and it stayed tight from Sunday all the way to Wednesday.
Yep. We had a leadership lunch today, and one of the folks, as we got through the process of introducing ourselves to the group, one of the folks stood up and said, it feels like family, the way that this group operates. And it, to a certain extent, it does. You get to see, and he referred to everyone as friends, because you get to see folks that you have read their papers, you have worked with technically, you perhaps have crossed paths with, but now are not in the same location as, and you get back together and pick up with them, and for those that you've just met in person for the first time, you finally get to make that connection. So it does. It's a small group. It's a little bit more intimate in that regard, and I think I enjoy it for that.
We got to take a quick break from the show and talk about our sponsors. What if your data actually worked for you? Upstream Plus, starting in accounting, built from over 16 years experience solving reporting challenges, reconciling complex oil and gas data, and turning fragmented information into clear, actionable insight. Because in this industry, the problem isn't a lack of data, it's the lack of clarity. Today, Upstream Plus is redefining what an LOS should be. A decision command center for operators, non-operators, mineral and royalty owners to protect assets, save time, improve decisions, and restore accountability down to the well level. Because in oil and gas, clarity isn't a luxury, it's power. Upstream Plus, see your operations clearly, decide with confidence.
As an operator, you know that geomechanics play a massive role in the difference between a successful frac and a wasted stage. But are you still relying on uncalibrated models? The energy transition truly means moving from guesswork to precision, from generic outcome to optimized economics. Integrity Insitu delivers the world's most advanced geomechanical data set using their Insitu tool subsurface acquisition platform, and is the first and only company capable of physically measuring stress and strain at differential pressures over 12,000 psi without injecting a drop of fluid in both vertical and horizontal boreholes. Capture real-time physical calibrations for your closure pressure and stress magnitude when you need it and where you need it. Unlock your fracs potential and increase production with less effort. Visit integrityinsitu.com and catch our latest technical deep dive with them on PBE Podcasts.
Agreed. It's a small group overall, internationally, SPWLA, 2,000 members maybe, and you get to this event and it's tight, but man, very heavy hitter feel, right? Strong technical content. You got the minds of some absolute brilliant folks, and so we're all coming together to understand the technology more and what you're doing, and we're catching up at the same time. And I feel like the SPWLA really allowed that opportunity to be organic, and I really like the way that lunches were here, and then right away your event at night is SLB, it is Baker Hughes, it is Halliburton. Like, there's no other place to go, and that's great because we just all sat through technical talks, we just all racked our brains like crazy all day long, and now we get to eat dinner, and it's quality food. It wasn't cheap food. It was done really well, very professional. I would even take it a step further and encourage that if a company like this is going to spend $100,000 on that night, right? The food, the catering, the events, the show they put on, right? Like, I would even appreciate it if they did even more of, here's our latest technology, here's a tool laid out along the dinner tables and all this other stuff, like, because I really did appreciate that, the investment in the opportunity to let us just kind of walk around, have a drink if we want to drink, eat something if we want to eat something. That's such a treat, that environment.
Very casual, like you said, up to you. Do as you wish, come and go as you please, but take advantage of what's being offered. And I agree. I think that the folks who are putting in the time and the money, the companies that are putting in the time and the money to support this organization and the people in it, I mean, I think that's a great opportunity right there for a little bit more show and tell, a little bit more advertisement. Yeah.
And don't feel bad at it at all.
No, not at all.
It's a great way of making it happen and reminding everybody that, hey, we're here to support you. We're here with the tool. We believe in this tool. We have all these professionals here to tell you why we believe in these tools, and we want you to have access to that as much as possible. And this big event where we're just relaxing is another opportunity where you go, yeah, with the examiner. What's going on here? Like, you can start asking those questions, and I don't think they feel bad about that at all. They should be honored to be doing that. It should be a bigger part of the thing. Even I would argue, but. The parties were good. The camaraderie was good. Meeting new people. Very solid show. What do you think?
Well, I have a list. I tried to get my thoughts down to try to organize them a little bit. I came in on Friday night. I was here for the workshops that started on Saturday. I missed the golf tournament. I think I have the opportunity in the future. I'll make an effort not to miss that. I think that a lot of effort went into that, and it was well organized. It was really well done. I heard great feedback. It looked like it was a lot of fun. So again, another casual way to get together, and then great sponsors, of course, who are helping out with that. So I think, I came in on the Friday night. I attended the workshop on Saturday. Dove right into the technical content. It was fantastic. It was a formation testing class that was provided by multiple service companies, because the organizer was the special interest group, the SIG, as part of the SPWLA. So it was very agnostic. It wasn't a sales pitch. It was very technical, and there was representation across the board.
Man.
And that was great. And I love that about this type of an event for doing something like that. So
That's where the magic happens, right?
it was great, yeah. I jumped into that, and then I had the opportunity and the privilege of judging the student paper competition on Sunday. Great to see what folks are working on. I mean, some of these young guys and girls are producing some high quality work. I mean, we saw some great awards being handed out because of the work that's being done across multiple disciplines. So, a topic, I'm going to start bouncing around already. A topic that came up a lot, as part of the leadership of the SPWLA was what's next, what's the future for the SPWLA. And of course, it starts with the students, right? I mean, that is the grassroots development, and that's who's coming next. And so it was fun to see. They were excited, they were exuberant, they were technical. It was a great competition. So.
And how long did that go? What was the setup for that? Like, how long did that student have to work on that presentation that you saw on Sunday?
Well, I mean, there was a lot more that went into it than just the 15-minute or 20-minute allotment that they had for the actual presentation, 17 talks on that one day. Each of the student chapters held their own competitions to find the best of the best, and then they competed for a spot on the international stage. Let alone the fact that they have done either a project as part of their bachelor, their master's, or their PhD. Those are the three categories we had. Okay. So the background work that went into that, obviously the preparation for the presentation, getting here, it's not a small feat for students in some cases. Yeah. And then the actual presentations themselves. So I mean, it was months of work for sure, and it was great to see students willing to put the time and the effort in, and their advisors obviously who are doing the same. So.
Yeah, and figuring out how to get them here, right? I mean, that's a big part of it too.
That can be challenging. I mean, we did host some virtual talks this year because there were some challenges on the travel front.
Oh wow!
Just a part of the climate right now, but we were able to. Our technology group was fantastic with being able to make that happen, and so we were able to pull that off with both in-person and remote presentations. So.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was my Sunday, and then I could just keep rolling.
Yeah.
I mean, right into Monday morning kickoff, right? I mean, when we started the whole thing.
How many meetings did you have being a part of this group, being such a big part of this event? How many offshoot meetings did you have of just SPWLA stuff during this conference?
Well, I mean, there's a specific committee set up for it, right? Obviously, I'm grateful for the position that I have on the international board as the North America 2 region director, but my specific role for this was the exhibits chair as part of the committee for this particular event. Hats off to Veronica Montoya and Katarina Yared for the organization, the herding of cats, the meeting organization. I mean, it was months, right? I mean, we started out early with fairly infrequent meetings, just sort of lay the groundwork and try to get things rolling. Of course, it takes a little bit of time to get that traction, and once you get going. And then, as we're getting closer to the event, then we go from, say, monthly meetings to bi-weekly and then up to weekly, and making sure that everything's all lined out. But, and I mean, that's one of the points that I wanted to make. It's a group of volunteers, and so the entire society is, of course, and there was a lot of great effort that went into preparing it on multiple fronts. We had. You're going to go for the list of the committee. Is that where you're headed to next?
I was thinking.
Perfect. Yeah, let's do it.
You down for that?
Let's recognize it.
Right.
Yep.
2026 Symposium Organizing Committee General Chairperson Veronica Montoya, Assistant General Chairperson Katarina Yared, Exhibits Chairperson ours truly, Andy Anderson, Printing Signs Chairperson. Now this is going to get tricky. Zixin Wang.
Sorry. On the printing side of things?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Sorry. You can say Jason as a short form to that. Yeah.
Nice. Social media finance chairperson Jing Li, social media Ching Zhu, technical arrangements Jeff Crawford, student poster Matt Blythe, Islay. That's his company. I got you. Amanda Reynolds. Golf tournament, Eric Olson. Transportation, Peter Barrett. Sponsorship, social functions, Blake Moak. Field trip, Amanda Reynolds. Partner guest activities, Tabitha Barrett. Conference liaisons, Sharon and Stephanie.
And we'll throw Elizabeth on there as well because she's on the publication side of things. But
oh wow!
But yes, I mean, huge shout out to the entire group, of course.
Right.
But lest we forget Sharon, Stephanie, and Elizabeth for the work they do in making this entire society run.
It was awesome to see, like walking up and really just booth space, nothing really set up, right? When on opening kind of booth building day. And she's just zipping, making sure everybody has what they need. Do you need anything else? What do you have? Oh, this is a little too close. Let's move it back. They are like on top of it.
Definitely, yes. It was fantastic.
It's huge, man. That's such a huge help.
They've been doing it for a long time. They do it very efficiently. They're very dedicated. I don't think any of us can say enough thanks to them for their work. Yeah,
that's awesome. It doesn't go unnoticed for sure. I think everybody has been super thankful for that. Obviously, everybody, I think at SPWLA, everybody that's attended this meeting, they're all in great appreciation for each individual that volunteers, that makes this list, that made this event come together. But you don't really know the details unless you're in it and you're investing your own time and attention into being a part of next year's or one of these events. I like the way SPWLA has kind of this, like, you get in as an elect, you do your deal, and then you even have some follow-up responsibilities. That's how I think a society can really be sustainable, right?
That handover period is really important. I mean, I think you see that continuity, you see that transfer of information, you passing on the knowledge. It's what you would want to do in business. It's what you would want to do in most things.
Yeah.
You have a bit of a succession plan there, and it's built into the organization. It definitely helps. You see it. It's part of the reason why most of the positions are staggered, with 2-year terms, so that you have overlap every other year. So,
and so there's not a 2027 Symposium Organization Committee page on this, right? But there is already a 2027.
That's correct. Yeah, it's because the France chapter will be hosting that one, and yes, they are already in the works, right? I mean, they put the time into preparing their bid. They submitted it, it was evaluated amongst others, and it was chosen for next year. So there's already a committee in place who's put some background work into putting that together, and I'm sure that committee will grow. One thing that wasn't explicitly stated there on our list of contributors to the committee is that there's a massive technical committee, and I mean we wouldn't have time to run through the names, but it's pages exactly. And so the same thing is true for the France event that'll be coming up. Those will all be volunteers who will be added to that list as well. So there are numerous contributors.
Yeah, and what's cool is we don't know what the 2027 list is necessarily right now, but we know that there's a carryover. So if I want to talk to somebody about it, I know I can go to this list and they're going to know exactly who is the next chairperson for student posters or whatever the question's going to be about, right?
Well, certainly everyone on the board, of the current 26-27 board will know.
Yep.
25-26 board, of course, would know as well. And then, I think everyone who's been a part of that process would definitely be an easy person to reach out to find more information, but it will be advertised as well as as the documentation starts to come together, as the advertisements start to get put together. You'll start to see more names in those lists.
Right away, we need to get the abstracts rolling. We need to open up the abstracts window. We need to get people, because I've already heard it. People at lunch and around going, man, I think I can present next year on something like this. And they're kind of complaining like, oh man, they were presenting on something that's like 5 years old, like, okay, so what are you going to do? You going to change it? You going to step up and do something new then? Oh, well, yeah, maybe, you got to give them the opportunity.
That's right. Yeah.
Open up abstracts and say, come on, bring it.
Well, and stay tuned to the SPWLA website, to the social media pages, because once those open, then we'll start advertising and start opening up the floodgates. Hopefully, get a lot of that, excellent technical content in there.
Man. Excellent. This year, for the first time, we had a social media hub, right?
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking this on. I mean, I realize that in of itself. You are yourself a one of the exhibitors and therefore one of the sponsors. But thank you for being willing to answer the call when I reached out and take me to a place that I'm maybe not that comfortable or familiar with, but I really have enjoyed it, and I'm so glad that that PB Podcast has been the official media hub. I think that's just an entirely new world that we've opened up, and I'm hoping it just keeps rolling.
Same. I want to transcribe all these things, right? Everything that gets edited and fully released from all the guests that we had on the show, the poster presentation talks that I got to do. Like, let's transcribe it. Let's put this out there and make it accessible in a slightly different way.
That's right. Yeah, different formats, exactly. It's just all about reaching folks. And really, it's about getting that information out there so that folks are aware of it.
Right.
I mean, if that's what it takes.
And I've already been hitting up several times, especially by the third day, like, oh, you got to have him on the show. You really need it. This guy's, his story. You got to get his story on the show. And I just love that. You know, that's exactly why we started it in the first place. Was there are some amazing people, amazing individuals have done just incredible things, and I just want to talk to them. I want to talk to them about that, how it happened, and then in the middle of all that are epiphanies and discoveries and new ideas and inspiration, motivation. You know, the listener gets to, you know, gets to hear that in the middle of their career and everything they got going on. You're making a difference. Just stay persistent. Just like these guys are saying, right? There's the old timer stories and getting that to the next generation. You can get, if you're in the young generation and you're working with the older generation, you're going to move faster amongst the younger generation. And the same goes for the older generation. If they work with the younger generation, then they get to go, you know.
Definitely. And to be honest with you, I think opening up a different side of that world, you know, outside of just reading the technical paper, right? Having that personality in there, having that history, that story, that's a connection, right? And I mean, I'm personally, when I get to know, you know, the history of some of the folks who are in here that have developed a lot of the theories, a lot of the practical applications that we use today, I think it's fantastic. And then if I happen to show up at an event and that person is there in person, I mean, how phenomenal is that?
Right.
That's a cool experience as a young person coming in, for sure. So
you get to have dinner with them, you get to have drinks, you get to joke around, you get to, man. Sponsors this year, we got to reach out. We got to say thank you to BP, Baker Hughes, Halliburton, SLB, Emerson, as Aspen Tech, as the gold sponsors of this event. Get as big as it gets. Oxy, silver, Chevron, and Well Resolutions Technology as a bronze sponsor. Borehole Image Specialists, CNLC, Continental Resources, Geolog, Maxwell, and Devon. Oiled-In Technology, Open Field Technology. Those are the supporting sponsors. Golf sponsors, Core Lab, Geomark, Intertech, TGS, Pangea, Rogi, and Petrocore. You know, that's it's awesome, man. It's such a good thing to have a place for those companies to invest in creating a place for growth, for collaboration, the support of what this SPWLA is. We got to take a quick break from the show and talk about our sponsors. What if your data actually worked for you? Upstream Plus, starting in accounting, built from over 16 years experience solving reporting challenges, reconciling complex oil and gas data, and turning fragmented information into clear, actionable insight. Because in this industry, the problem isn't a lack of data, it's the lack of clarity. Today, Upstream Plus is redefining what an LOS should be. A decision command center for operators, non-operators, mineral and royalty owners to protect assets, save time, improve decisions, and restore accountability down to the well level. Because in oil and gas, clarity isn't a luxury, it's power. Upstream Plus, see your operations clearly, decide with confidence.
As an operator, you know that geomechanics play a massive role in the difference between a successful frac and a wasted stage. But are you still relying on uncalibrated models? The energy transition truly means moving from guesswork to precision, from generic outcome to optimized economics. Integrity Insitu delivers the world's most advanced geomechanical dataset using their Insight tool, subsurface acquisition platform, and is the first and only company capable of physically measuring stress and strain at differential pressures over 12,000 psi without injecting a drop of fluid in both vertical and horizontal boreholes. Capture real-time physical calibrations for your closure pressure and stress magnitude when you need it and where you need it. Unlock your fracs potential and increase production with less effort. Visit integrityinsitu.com and catch our latest technical deep dive with them on PBE Podcasts.
Having a place for them to put money into that and seeing what comes of it. What comes of it is this massive event, people relaxing, bringing in new technical ideas, willing to present, put themselves in slightly uncomfortable situations, go on a podcast, talk about it. It wouldn't be possible without
all of them. I mean, the conversations you have in the booths, the conversations you have here in the lobby or the hallways, yeah, all of it's fantastic. I mean, as you're going through that, it really took me back to that pre-symposium podcast that we had worked up to try to get things going, and just remembering that the range of exhibits or exhibitors and sponsors is quite wide, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're going all the way from the largest companies all the way through to these specialties that are either developing software, technology, tools, consulting services, and even your sponsors here, developing the latest and greatest. And
Right.
It's quite impressive just to see what the spectrum actually is. So,
Right.
yeah.
SPWLA is the ultimate integrator. It's the data that's coming from the wellbore that everyone's trying to revolve the business around, especially in oil and gas. I mean, geothermal, and a lot of it, it's around the wellbore. We're drilling a hole, we're gathering data, we're identifying a pocket of hydrocarbons or a pocket of a resource, and is it going to be commercial or not? And the engineers are into that, the geologists. You got everybody looking at that data, everyone trying to make sense of it and coming to an agreement to generate wealth and make discoveries. So, dude, it's such a unique group going all in on these details and providing this place where integration can really happen. And let's talk about that. This event is built for all of those departments: completions, reservoir, C-suite guys, geologists, petrophysicists, geophysicists. That we're all talking about the same problems: this data, managing that data, and then making decisions off that data, right? Interpreting.
Definitely. Yep. Exactly. It comes down to those decisions that you're going to make, those integrated decisions, exactly, involving multiple disciplines, multiple people. Yeah. Yep. That's fantastic.
How about exhibitors? Should we run through this?
Let's do it. You're going to hand that over to me.
Co-host is
Perfect.
running through
Excellent.
these.
Well, I am the exhibits chair, I suppose. So thank you very much. Yeah. All right. Exhibitors. We're going to say Baker Hughes, Kenheimer Coring, Cordax, Core Geo, Diversified, Ellington, Eric's Fjord, GeoActive, Geolog, Geomark, GoWell, Green Imaging, Harvey Rock Physics, Halliburton, Intertech, Kappa, Math to Market, Neurolog, NewTech, Oliden Technology, Openfield, Petrocore and Drill Plus Coring Solutions, Petromac, Revochem, Romtech, SLB, Southern, Stratum, Suju Analytical, Task, Frontera Geoscience, TGT, Thermo Fisher, and UT Austin, and I think even University of Houston was back there in the corner as well. So,
Right.
Yep, great representation. We ended up with a nicely packed exhibits floor, so it worked out really well.
Agreed. And I like the design of it too, how it's out front right when you walk through the front doors, but then you have this back area that was kind of open and just kind of refreshing. You had the big windows with the lake, as a view. It's a cool setting.
It worked out quite well. This being the second time that we've been at this location, I was not here the first time, but seeing the way that it's laid out, it's great. It's great for interaction. I mean, it's buzzing.
I love that you got like notes in your book, like circling things. It's so cool. It's like it got to be framed. The workshops are done. Society functions.
Yeah, we had a lot. I mean, there were obviously the lunches that you mentioned, right?
Yep.
And so at each lunch there was a reason for holding the lunch, right? Of course. So we had awards presentations, we had a business meeting, we had leadership meetings. We had obviously the evening activities, so getting everybody together socially. We had the ISPC So there's a lot going on just outside of the exhibits and technical.
The fun run.
The fun run. I did not do the fun run. I might have
Didn't
to.
see that.
I might have to commit to that. Julian has been quite convincing. I have not committed to that, but I'm not going to do that on the air quite yet. But
yeah, don't overcommit. I have a sneaky suspicion that me and that guy getting a 2-hour podcast together with maybe some other folks, man. I think Julian would be very interesting to talk to.
Oh, definitely.
Right.
Incredibly intelligent gentleman. Lots of experience. I think he'd be a lot of fun to talk to. Yeah.
Man. International Board of Directors, huh? International Board of Directors. That's different. That's
different than the organizing committee, correct? Yes.
Okay. So this is okay. Gotcha. I'm catching up now. Where's Ruby?
So are you looking at the 25, 26?
Yeah.
And then we made the transition while we were here.
That's
from the
right.
25, 26 to the 26, 27.
Because Matt Blythe goes to president-elect, where Javier is. Javier goes to Bob Gales, where president is.
Correct.
Okay. And then Ruby's going to... No.
Clara, yep. Ruby's going to be on the technical committee for the 27 symposium.
That's right.
Yep. There's a lot of volunteers. It's a pretty big organization.
Now, these regional directors,
Yes.
what is your responsibility as a regional director?
So really, it's because we have so many individual chapters, both professional and student chapters throughout the world.
Yeah.
I mean, there really are too many to coordinate into a single governing body, which would be the board itself. So the regional directors are there to try to help break that up and be able to report back. They're the line of communication between the board and the actual chapter boards themselves. And really, it's just a matter of communicating our goals and then finding out if there's any ways that, between all of us that we can work together, make improvements, increase that membership, increase that activity, keep things moving. So obviously that's one of my current roles. I have one more year in that position as the North America 2 region. North America has 2 regions given its size and number of chapters. And so, yeah, each one of those region directors has a group of individual chapters, either professional or student, with their own boards, and they work together on a regular basis, and then we all get together to meet and discuss throughout the year.
North America 2 has a carve-out of the 40 professional chapters, the 11 special interest groups, the 31 student chapters. That's all around the world. You're getting a bite out of each of those for whatever the boundary of North America 2 is. They're all reporting to you. You're talking to them all year. Which talks are well attended. You're trying to find things that can help on the technical, like presenting side of things.
Where it's possible. One of the biggest things that comes from the annual symposium is what's called the Distinguished Speaker Series. And so the best talks are selected from the event, and for people to become distinguished speakers. Those presenters are then encouraged in order to go out and present at each one of those chapters. They also do an online version of it through the year. So that's part of it. We'll be able to help communicate and facilitate that. Speak with the chapter boards themselves, find out what they're in need of, or can we coordinate perhaps. In my case, I happen to have a fairly diverse geographic region throughout the U.S. If somebody's heading out west to give a talk, can they coordinate with another group and try to make more of it than just a single visit to one chapter or something like that? And then, just sharing ideas. I mean, getting all of the chapter boards together and saying, okay, what's working? How are things going? What can we do for sharing ideas?
Nice. Okay. So that makes sense. What the regional guys are up to all year.
Correct.
And assisting the executive committee, the board, right?
Yeah. And the boots on the ground. I mean, the chapters themselves are they're the ones out there, doing the monthly talks, getting their individual members together and hosting the events. Yep.
And it's cool to see. Hopefully next year we get a chance to go over this again, go through the pamphlet, because I'd be really interested to see what happens with the size of the groups, right? Do we have more chapters next year, more student chapters, more, what's developed from this year to next year? 25, 26 is now going to go 26, 27. Which way is this society going? Are people really leaning in? Are we bringing in more and more students? Are we getting bigger? Keeping track of all that.
Definitely. Where the growth is occurring, right? Which regions it's occurring in. Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
It's all part of it.
Awardees, prestigious awardees of the SPWLA.
A lot of contributors, a lot of folks who have given a lifetime to this industry and to this profession and discipline. A lot of folks on there for both their service, for their technical work. There's a large list through that.
Yeah, gold medal for technical achievement, Dr. Sung Hu Chen, and a medal of honor for career service, Dr. Tegwin Perkins. Distinguished Technical Achievement Award, Dr. Harry Zai. Distinguished Technical Achievement Award, so there's 2 of them, Dr. Ron Bonney. Look at that. You got, man, I don't even know how to say that word.
Daniela. Oh, up at the top?
Yeah,
Daniela.
What's the award, though? The
what? Meritorious Service
the
Award.
Meritorious.
Sorry. Yep.
The Meritorious Service Award. So each one of these can, and there's another one. There's Ruby getting the Meritorious Award as well. Oh, same with Nelson Suarez. Okay. Oh, 4 of them. A professor, Hao Wang, got a Meritorious Award. So how do you define that one? There's a lot of these.
There are a lot of them with different definitions for each one of them. So
no kidding.
I could not list them off the top of my head as to what the definition of each one of them is.
Yeah.
There's actually a really great description on the website. The SPWLA website keeps a list of all of the honorees for these and what they're for.
Nice.
Yeah, but for a variety of things, whether that would be for their technical achievements, for their contributions technically, or whether it be a service award for the contributions that they've made, the volunteering. And yep, exactly.
Wow. A couple of young professional awards.
Yes.
It's awesome. Scholarships. You guys do scholarships?
We do scholarships.
You guys have a fund, and you guys provide scholarships to...
Well, and the thing you'll notice is as you get more involved in both the special interest groups and the individual chapters, in many cases, each of those have their own scholarships as well. So It's really about getting the word out, I think, so that folks know that, because there are a lot of opportunities out there, so financially.
Yeah.
So if you're a student, look it up. If you're into petrophysics, formation evaluation,
right.
Don't be afraid to dig into the SPWLA's website and see what's out there. Join the groups.
Nice. Yeah, heck yeah, especially if it helps with tuition, books, all that kind of stuff. Nice. Even more awardees: Symposium Best Paper Presentation, Symposium Best Poster Presentation, Global Distinguished Speakers, Outstanding Petrophysics Journal Papers, Outstanding Petrophysical Reviewers, Outstanding Editors, Outstanding Professional Chapters. So it's cool that Student Chapter Award. I mean, so when I didn't go to the awards lunch. I missed that. This is where it was all talked about, handed out.
Exactly. That is exactly where it all happened. Yep.
Man,
a lot of recognition.
Cool. So then every time I'm going to read one of those, maybe we could throw up a picture from it. I'm sure we got photos of everyone getting their awards and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd have to dig into where the location of those will be.
Going.
We can dig it out. Yep, definitely.
I have a contact with the girl that was running around with the camera.
Oh, good. Okay,
yeah,
very good. The event photographer. Perfect.
Yeah,
yep.
she was running back and each talk.
Oh,
trying to keep up with all that stuff. So the commitment is real. Next year, 100 years of well logging being highlighted. It's being noticed and appreciated, right, by the SPWLA.
I believe that's a solid nod to the origins of it. Yeah, definitely.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I love the drawing, right? You got a resistivity curve that's like making the what's the name of the mountains here? The Pyrenees Mountains.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I think that's what they said. So they made the curve look kind of like it, and then they did like a high-res resistivity curve underneath, like in the subsurface. So the logo's awesome. 68th annual in France. You're going to write a paper so you can get there. ConocoPhillips will be like, okay, I got you. We're going to get you there. You go tell everybody about this, what you did with this image log, or right? These technologies are getting used. Oh, maybe we can get a case study on some new wells being drilled. You know, how you handle working with the mud loggers and the drilling mud guys and weight on bit, how you take in all that, how you consume all that information in today's environment, make decisions of it, from it in real time. I think that's a fascinating study that, I don't know, I feel like we could do a lot better job of just kind of walking through the steps, that, okay, we're drilling a well again, but all this data, and slightly tweaked. Okay, we're not going to have that log, but we're going to have this one, or we're not going to do this in LWD, or we're not. It's going to be motor steerable. It's not. What's the mud made out of? What are we anticipating for issues that on this well? So, yeah, we're drilling another well, but man, every well is like a beast in its own, right?
It is. I mean, I'll say that personally, I love seeing the case studies. I mean, it's great to see the new technology come out, stay on top of it. That's fantastic. I mean, some of the debates on the old concepts are still fantastic too, because you hear some, differing views on how to interpret data, But those case studies, like you're saying, you don't have to complicate the technical content. You can literally just review what has been done, because there's enough variability in every one of those steps that we go through. There's plenty of opportunity to learn something in each one of those, and a case study. Case studies are great. I love seeing the case studies.
I was talking to somebody at a booth, and they're like, "Man, how many?" No, it was a poster presentation. How many steps are there in your methodology to make sure that the wellbore is going to provide you realistic data to the tools? Like, there's all kinds of checks. There's like a whole drop, like check boxes, right? So it's fascinating that all that information's here, all that experience is here, and that the SPWLA is also talking about, okay, now that we've done this and it's been documented and scanned, these documents have been scanned from the late 50s and 60s and 70s of all this all this knowledge that's been...
You're hitting a hot topic right now, right? We had this digital innovation forum just as a big part of that. I mean, there is a massive quantity of data out there. How do you organize it? How do you archive it? How do you consume it? How do you process it? How do you highlight the important parts of it? It's an entity unto itself. It's an entire discipline, I think. So it's a part of the future, I think, of petrophysics for sure.
Wow. Yeah, it was an interesting conversation with Matt. Matt was talking about that.
I can only imagine. He's a great guy for his knowledge on that.
Kind of thing?
Yep.
Yeah, he dove right into it, man. Like, shoot, you could do so much with this. You just got to train it right. Don't let it just kind of hallucinate, right, and make up all these things. You got to get into it right. And when you do, and we do crack the nut on that, and we will, because it's there, and we're smart enough, and these events allow it to keep going. I said, man, what if it's accessible like that, don't you think you can hike up the prices of the membership, right? Don't you think that you're going to provide something? And he was nicknaming it Rocky. He said, we'll call it Rocky. And this thing's going to be able to answer someone's question, any member's question around the world for the SPWLA, built on this data set by the societies, not available open source anywhere. This is very specific, and you're going to get access to that as a member, and you're paying for that membership because you get access to that, plus all the other benefits you're getting already from the SPWLA. But this is something new. That was my argument. I'm like, this is something new. You can really... Sorry, that's
okay.
It's me. Sorry about that. Every show I turned it off except for the last one.
We're in wind down mode,
right? So that's right. Sorry, man. I was going on a little rant, but I felt like you can jack the price. He's like, "Hold on, everybody. We're not going to jack up prices here."
Right.
And I'm just saying, man, that's incredibly valuable.
It is, and I mean, I think there's still a lot to be learned. I was not in that particular forum, so I don't know the details exactly of where we're going and what that's going to look like. I don't know that that's actually been decided yet, but it's a great wealth. I mean, look at all the other versions of that are out there. I mean, most of them are some form of pay to play, right? I mean, if you want to go digging out archived papers from somewhere, it's pretty rare that somebody's just going to hand it over for free.
Right.
So,
yeah. Like whoever's going to do the actual database management and like the platform that all this is going to work from, they got to get paid. They're not going to do that for free. So what do you think? The SPWLA is just going to hand it over at the same cost as you always get? Like, no, maybe you can have an older, like, conventional membership. But if you want that digital one, you want that new membership that gets you access to Rocky, you know, this thing that you can really engage with anytime that you're available. You can now dig into Julian's papers and, you know, all these legends that have been contributing to the SPWL for all these years. You're getting access to them. It's a digital version of them, but their heart and soul was poured into those words, and they thought about how they were articulating that in that paper or in that poster. You're getting access to that. That to me is a way that makes sense, that the big AI bubble and machine learning argument bubble and all this stuff is kind of going to become this big mess, and it's not really going to work out. I'm not too sure. I think there's this kind of thing, like the AAPG's in the same boat, right? SEG, SPE. You have thousands and thousands of all this data, and nobody else has that. That's proprietary and SPWLAs. If you want access to that, you pay for it.
Right.
Because you got more expenses to manage it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that all goes. It's a fascinating new part of the societies. Yeah.
And then we get people like you that we get to sit down with you and be like, all right, Andy, like, I want to see what kind of questions you're asking this thing, you know, like, how do you work with it? How does it help you? There's so much that can come from that, right? So much engagement from students, older generation, like,
that's half the battle. Learning how to interact and ask the right questions and pull out the information that you want to, for sure. So, yeah. No, it's exciting. It's part of the future, for sure.
Agreed.
So I have to ask you. So you're not a petrophysicist. You're a geoscientist. You have a subsurface background.
Yep.
You're actively engaged in the industry. You're out there. You're doing the work. You're interacting with all the same professions. What was your takeaway? I mean, you've been to conventions. This is your first SPWLA?
First annual symposium. Yeah. Yep.
What do you think?
I feel like I can honestly say that the event was it was intimate, right? There's not a lot of folks here, so you're getting to engage with people that you get to meet, but they're not just gone. You don't see them again for the rest of the conference at these 5,000 plus conferences, and everything was well organized, so I knew exactly what was happening at what time, and it wasn't all over the place, right? Multiple levels and all these things. So I feel like the smaller it is, the impact that it had was really far greater for me. I got to spend a lot of time with people too, like because we're here in the morning, we know what's happening, and we're all going to go to the same lunch together. We're all going to get back to presentations, and then at the end of the night, we know that it's Halliburton's here, or Baker Hughes was here, Schlumberger. So when you're just taking all that time with everyone, asking them questions, what do you think about that? Oh, I heard somebody talking about this, and you're laughing about this stuff. You're seeing them again later that night, and you get to keep talking about those same kind of concepts. What do you think if we did something like this? And you really get to elaborate a little bit more of some of these ideas. That you have an epiphany. You might say something, it's interesting, and then you never see this person again, not for the rest of the event, right? It's just, you're overwhelmed with other things. And for me, it was I got to meet everybody night one, and I felt like every day it just was an extent, you know, we all went to bed and we all came right back at it.
Yep. Just continued to grow, right? That contact. You didn't lose anyone. You just kept seeing them, and then maybe saw some new people, and then kept seeing them. Yeah.
So
definitely.
I feel like the organization was great. The content was awesome. The engagement with people with bringing up the podcast and me being a part of that, they're like, yeah, what are you doing? What's it about? And then they get to hear, and then oh man, this sounds really interesting. Where do I get to listen to this content? Like, man, cool. We're contributing, we're contributing to this massive society, global distribution of information and knowledge and all this benefit, and we're a part of it. We got to be involved. It was a great honor, man. It was really, I really do appreciate you reaching out and making this event possible. And then the future is man, it's really exciting that we can maybe be in France together and doing more and doing more in between. Now we have a whole year before that event.
Right. A lot more planning.
Right.
We know what we're doing this time a little bit better.
Let's do mini podcasts, just Zooms, just little 15, 20-minute Zooms about, hey, we just had a board meeting. Here's what was decided. We want feedback from the members on this. We haven't decided that yet. Here are some options we're throwing out there. Get it out to
that.
Right?
I like that.
Let's just. So what happened over these last 5 days of being so tight knit and having such a organized schedule of here's what's going to happen, and everyone's just going along for that ride, and everyone's connected. But we got to keep that same mindset for the next year's event. That's how we can make it just that much even more powerful.
I love it. That's fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I mean, I had no idea where this would go. I really didn't. But I see the opportunity, and I think we were successful. I think you were successful. I appreciate that. I appreciate you for jumping in and just grabbing a hold of it. And I appreciate your energy. I really do. And I think the sky's the limit. I think there are ways we haven't even thought of to interact and share information. Yeah, definitely.
Man, we are wrapped up at the 2026 SPWLA Annual Symposium, man. They're breaking down the booths behind us. You have any final last words, any final appreciations to folks that from this event?
As I look out, huge thanks to everyone who attended. I mean, that's awesome. A big part of it. It doesn't happen without folks attending, obviously. We have the sponsors, we have the exhibits, all that, but the folks that are here, I mean, I'm so glad to catch up with folks I hadn't, meet new people. It's just great to see the folks that are here.
Man, I definitely want to echo that. The people that show up, it's like a boxing event, right? The two boxers are not going to be doing this unless the stadium is filled with people who are trying to figure out who's going to win. It's not as simple as that, right? We're petrophysicists and very high-level technical stuff, but everybody who gets it and that's here, they're seeing, hey, that actually does work, or that technology, man, I don't think so. It's not really working. It's not really working. They get it. They're seeing the fights. They're seeing those little individual boxing matches. And I think that would be something I would love to dig into as much as possible and be very professional about it, is what are we really digging into to get over these humps in some kind of technical way, arguments, debates. I want to dig into those things. I want to engage in those conversations. I want to go to these significant, or the SIGs, right? The
special interest groups.
Interest groups. Like Matt was telling me that those are kind of designed for that. You don't go to a technical talk and in a 5-minute presentation, or it's a 15-minute presentation and 5 minutes for questions, you start trying to debate the talk about what you may had a problem with that. That's not really for that. But the special interest groups, now that's a different story. Now it's like, okay, let's sit down and let's go toe to toe and let's really iron this out.
Dig in, yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
Dig in.
Yeah, you have the technical experts there for sure.
Right? You got technical experts that are kind of keeping the rails on it, like, hey, yeah. So I really want to get more involved in understanding the SIGs, all these different groups, these special interest groups that are really digging in and trying to build a better and stronger foundation for petrophysics and what it's doing and the value it provides. That's like our sponsors here. We have a new way of measuring geomechanical stresses with integrity in situ. He's so passionate about that. His story's been told, and now it's like, this is the first time we get a measure in situ with an inflatable packer, and this way of seeing the data in a slightly different way. It's new. What's going to be spawned of that? What's going to be right? That to me is cool, and that special interest groups allows us to get in the same room and say, no, a dipole sonic does the same. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. You don't need this. And it's like, wait a minute. Teach me why you're saying that, so I can get that too. If you're right, I would like to know that. I would like to learn.
We all like to learn, exactly.
Right?
Yep.
Upstream is always keeping track of LOS and accounting, which is a huge deal for all of us. We all love to spend $300,000 on the wireline portion of an AFE, but sometimes you're not allowed to. And you got this software that says, okay, you decided to cut out this. Look at the well's performance 6 months later. You just landed in the wrong spot, or maybe you didn't get the right data. Look at the wells that you did get the right data. Better wells. What's going on there? That's a software, and again, someone who's passionate about, understands the petrophysicists and everybody else that's making decisions for the company, but keeping track of all the little details of what actually got decided, what money actually got spent on that, and how did it perform because of these decisions from the group. Keep track of that for companies, So we got great sponsors. We got people that are really supporting what we do on the operating side, the service company side. Now consulting is getting big, right? That's kind of the twilight zone of the industry. But man, there's a lot of consultants. There's a lot of operators. That was another thing. Oxy and Shell, you see reading the name badges and you're like, man, these are heavy hitters. These are heavy hitters around the world trying to figure this out. And I'm at lunch with a bunch of Shell guys, and we're talking about uranium enrichments. And it's like, there's no other place in my life for the rest of the year that I'll be able to sit down with those guys talking about wireline and geology. It's only happening here. And I had like 30 minutes. And I'm the one who chose to leave early. Well, I had a podcast, but I'm like sitting there just enjoying, and they're just hanging out.
Yep.
Right?
Willing to share, definitely. Yep.
You can't call them. You can't hit the company up and say, hey, give me 10 minutes of your time. When I come to your office and talk about uranium enrichment, they're like, what are you talking about? No. Come meet me at a lunch at the SPWLA, and I got all the time in the world because I'm there for it, right? Their minds are prepared for this engagement around this technology and ideas. And so it's been a wonderful, wonderful time. There's Robin Slocum cruising through. Love it.
Well, sir.
Thanks for co-hosting, man.
Thanks for doing this. I really do appreciate it.
We got to take a quick break from the show and talk about our sponsors. What if your data actually worked for you? Upstream Plus, starting in accounting, built from over 16 years experience solving reporting challenges, reconciling complex oil and gas data, and turning fragmented information into clear, actionable insight. Because in this industry, the problem isn't a lack of data, it's the lack of clarity. Today, Upstream Plus is redefining what an LOS should be. A decision command center for operators, non-operators, mineral and royalty owners to protect assets, save time, improve decisions, and restore accountability down to the well level. Because in oil and gas, clarity isn't a luxury, it's power. Upstream Plus, see your operations clearly, decide with confidence.
As an operator, you know that geomechanics play a massive role in the difference between a successful frac and a wasted stage. But are you still relying on uncalibrated models? The energy transition truly means moving from guesswork to precision, from generic outcome to optimized economics. Integrity Insitu delivers the world's most advanced geomechanical data set using their Insight tool subsurface acquisition platform, and is the first and only company capable of physically measuring stress and strain at differential pressures over 12,000 psi without injecting a drop of fluid in both vertical and horizontal boreholes. Capture real-time physical calibrations for your closure pressure and stress magnitude when you need it and where you need it. Unlock your frac's potential and increase production with less effort. Visit integrityinsitu.com and catch our latest technical deep dive with them on PBE Podcasts.